Let's load this bad boy up. I need to plug in the block heater. As of right now, this is pretty much the only way the van starts. So every time you turn the key, the windshield wipers go. Interesting. And then take a little starter fluid in there. Like I said, something's seriously up with this thing. I'm not gonna worry about it right now though.
Well, you might be wondering where this beautiful and very humble couple came from. Back in 2019, we spent the year building out our schoolie. After the build was done, we sold our house and traveled for a full year. Following that year of travel, we started to crave building again and getting something 4x4.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
You usually want to get those wet, right? You don't want to put them in dry?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. You see it?
Yeah, I see it, babe.
Outside of my little doodad.
Let me go get his eye checked out. And he's got like 2 flakes of metal in there, unfortunately.
Can you see it?
Let's see. Lay down, babe. It's time to perform surgery on you.
No.
Let me get it out.
It is open.
Can I see? I wonder how they're gonna get it out. I'm very curious.
A drill.
Are you serious? Stop it.
I've heard they actually do drill stuff out of your eye.
Oh God. And you're green?
Mm-hmm. Can you see it? No, I don't want to light in my eye. Open up eyeball.
So this is just a numbing drop. It'll sting a little bit.
Okay.
And I don't want you rubbing your eye, but you can kind of dab the tears.
Okay.
Got
my tears on.
Looks like you'll have liver failure.
That's a beautiful eyeshadow.
I suspect that you do have a piece of metal there, which you were suspicious of.
Okay.
We need to get you in to the eye doc.
My eye drops always go down into my throat. My throat's all like numb. This is scary looking. That's the tool right there, that black one.
Smallest spoon.
So what'll be interesting is when it comes out of there is whether there's rust or something behind it. If there is, and there's enough rust, we'll go in there and take a little burr and just kind of take that out. But these look, I don't know, they don't look like they're gonna have much rust. Hold of your upper eyelid just to keep this thing from, and that one actually came out in one big piece. That's actually awesome.
Did you feel it?
No.
Actually, that thing looks like it'll slough off just fine. Yeah, it's kind of a goofy feeling. You know, sometimes on those rust rings, I'll use that burr, but I'll tell you, I don't like to beat up that part of your eye too much because it can get real irritated. That'll probably take 2 or 3 days, and what'll happen is your eye will slough that off.
Come on. Hi, babies. Hey. Okay.
Alright, so I got my little battery setup going on here. I got this, I think it's 8-gauge wire in here. This BMS didn't come with any negative wire, so to these terminals here, I need to solder on some wire.
So while he's working on that, I'm going to do our favorite thing in the world and sand down the roof some more. The fiberglass on the inside still needs to be sanded down, and we are prepping to put solar panels up, the skylight, you know, our fan. So we want to get that ready so when it's time to do that, we can just do it. It's also much better to do this now before we have a ton of things in there. A, so I can't stand on things, and B, to get it all fiberglass nasty. So hopefully this is truly the last time we're doing fiberglass work inside. I need to get Lance because we have to move this wood first. We got this new wood for cabinets, everything we're about to build. It's a maple, and we're doing it out of 1/2 inch. I never figure out which one's to which.
This is really nice wood.
It's really nice wood.
I just ordered this other BMS, plus this company sends a ton of green zip ties with their BMSs, which is cool. They call it like their swag Dior. It's like a little bonus, I guess. This is some of the best customer service I've ever had, I think. Well, I haven't actually fully dealt with them, but right here on this sheet that they send you says, if you need help, I will help. If it isn't working right, I will replace it. If it's totally fried, I will refund your money. This includes anything you did to break it. Enjoy, Steve. And then it has his email there, so you just email him. And then on the other side, it's kind of like a directions, I guess. What I was saying about this BMS is see how these terminals are soldered on with this 8-AUG cable. So basically what I'm doing is this here. Soldering them on, so that way they can, I can have them ready.
This just became our fiberglass sweatshirt that we share. So before doing any of this, I really prepped my body to get as least filthy as possible. As you can tell, we fiberglass worked a lot. Because this thing is filthy! Put my shirt in. Because I really don't want any of this to touch my skin. So I have a few layers on of everything, and it's chilly anyway, so. Ladies, most important step. Guys too, sorry you guys can have long hair. Once my beanie's on, I try to tuck all my hair in. Also gonna put on a respirator and protective eyewear, but I need to unload some stuff first.
These cells that I'm working on right now are actually for the van, or for the bus rather. We're replacing our battery system. This cold up here in Montana has completely destroyed our AGM batteries in the bus. So these have to be 12 volt, otherwise I would need to change out my inverter and quite a few other things. I have 2 of these BMSs that I need to hook up, and I also have 2 of these cell packs that I need to create. So that's the battery tape is holding them together right now, as well as there's the VHB in between each cell to hold it all together. And then on this side is gonna be the battery monitor stuck on there with VHB tape. And then I have a nice little, I guess, wire organization going on my side.
I upgraded because that sander was taking forever.
So these batteries are all studded here. So I've taken Loctite and put it on these studs and screwed the studs in, tightened them down pretty decently. So I've got some stripped here. So I need some flocks.
Now what I'm taking off with the grinder, if you remember when we were trying to fiberglass these wood framing in, like that one. The first one we did, we were trying to wrap it around the entire piece of wood to hold it in, and it did not work.
Hey Lance, I'm having a big issue with these corners.
More.
It doesn't fit the corners how we needed it to, so now they're super bubbled out. And when we attempt to fit things in on this, it's so strong it'll make everything bubble out. So trying to smooth these out, and I was gonna work out my arms today, but it doesn't need it after this.
Okay, so I have a cord, like just a butane torch here, which I really like. I think these just work a little nicer than the cordless ones. That is, if you can get them started. Shoot.
So Lance just came over and we remembered we have the screws to take out of it, which is why we fiberglass the boards up. And we thought before I continue putting all this work into it, maybe we should take the screws out and make sure that they even work.
Phew! It's on there.
Oh, it worked?
Yeah.
It's on there enough to carry some weight. Seems like it.
Decently.
I thought these corners were going to be annoying, but they're actually really nice because I can put my hand here. This thing is so heavy. I know exactly why Lance is stretching his muscles now.
Soldering iron doesn't work. I went and tried to borrow Allie's grandpa's right down the road here, and this isn't getting hot enough. So I have a torch, I have my soldering iron, and I'm gonna heat up the tip and solder with it. See if this will heat up, because this stinks doing it this way. Cold to the touch. This is a nightmare. I'm not sure if I just selected the option on accident where it doesn't have the wires, or if they didn't offer it, but this sucks. I wish I had wires. I got this soldering iron working. I noticed these here were really loose and I tightened them down. Now it works a treat because I have a lot more of this to go. Alright, so this is how it looks now. Before it looked like this one. So see, this is solder up there. Oh, hi. That was a really weird noise. Ellie and her mom messing with me over there, making some noises outside. Can't they see I'm doing electrical work? Pfft. So you can see I have 3 coming off this way. Now I'm gonna take these guys, stick them in like this, and then solder them down. Pre-did all these wires because I want to stick them all in so I can keep the heat up on this circuit board. Let the solder kind of droop down. Really trying to make sure the solder's getting on the board as well. Do you have a use for this?
No, what do you think was that remote for?
No idea. The solar today, and I need to unhook the solar panels because I'm gonna undo the power. You're not supposed to have the solar panels pulling in power to the charge controller without the charge controller having 12-volt power from your batteries, because it'll damage it. So I'm gonna go up there and just unhook my quick connect, and then disconnect my batteries, disconnect, and then basically rerun wire, put our new batteries in, bada bing, bada boom. So this is our battery bank here. These are AGM batteries, and I wish you would have just gone with lithium because I think this was $600, which granted, this would equate to about 1 lithium battery, all of these, but that 1 lithium battery would still be working and I could have just added on. These guys are pretty much dead, I think. I'm actually gonna try to hook these up to a reconditioner, see if we can recondition these batteries, and then that way I can just sell them. I no longer like these batteries or want them, so I'm gonna just disconnect my negative right now, and then my positive back here. Now, I've done this before with short sleeve shirts, and if you rest your arm on this and then ground yourself, while you're grounding yourself out while touching the positive, you'll shock yourself. It's not that bad of a shock, but you can feel it. And sort of feed that wire through, and feed that wire through. So I'm just gonna reuse these wires. I'm actually gonna put the lithium batteries inside. That's been kind of an issue with these batteries as well, is anything that's too hot or too cold, these batteries don't really charge at all. As much as we'd like to say we're always in perfect temperature, we're not. Let's pull the wires out and reroute them. we're gonna route them that direction through the inside of the bus. Okay, so we actually never finished this portion. We're gonna put wood on this. But for now, what I'm gonna go ahead and do, those wires I just pulled out, I'm gonna route them up here and around, because all of our lithium batteries are gonna go right up here, which we only have 2 lithium batteries. Part of the reason why I didn't put those AGMs in here is because we had so many of them. I didn't have space for them really. Well, that's not what I needed to get to at all. Darn it. Your engine coolant comes to this big block here, and it creates heat in here, and then you can see this fan here. Those, once you turn on your heat, it blows heat out there. Well, this means I gotta go through the inside. All right, set the wires here. I'm thinking I'm gonna be able to get them up here. There's our positive, baby. All right, now we gotta get our negative through though. Yeah, they cut these zip ties like razors down here. Got one through. So now I'm gonna go get those batteries, set them in here, see how they fit, how they look, what orientation I'm gonna put them in. So the cool thing with these lithiums is I can run them in any orientation. So that's why I wanted to bring that in here. So these will connect to that negative, and then I need to run wires from this positive up, and then from the other positive. I'm gonna go grab the other battery pack. All right, it's pretty awesome. I'll actually probably flip them around, turn the BMS still back towards that wall, because there's some space there. Then I need to build a divider. One thing I've learned about working on stuff is sometimes it's best just to pull stuff off. One thing I've learned about working on stuff is sometimes it's best just to pull stuff off. I didn't show you this before I put them in here, but these also have a Bluetooth setting. That's what these little guys are here. And I have it set up on my phone now so I can see. This one's at 47, and then it individually monitors the cells. So cell 3 is a little high on voltage and cell 4 is a little low, which isn't an issue. This BMS, before it does anything, it'll balance these cells out.